To the engineer, spaceflight poses two problems. The first is, of course, to build a rocket ship. The second, and no less important, is to prepare and train the men who are to fly the future rocket ships and to provide suitable working conditions that will enable them to survive in space.
William Bradford, speaking in 1630 of the founding of the Plymouth Bay Colony, said that all great and honorable actions are accompanied with great difficulties, and both must be enterprised and overcome with answerable courage. If this capsule history of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon, and to the planets beyond. Our leadership in science and industry, our hopes for peace and security, our obligations to ourselves as well as others, all require us to make this effort, to solve these mysteries, to solve them for the good of all men. There is no strife, no prejudice, no national conflict in outer space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
For every American, for people all over the world, this has to be the proudest day of our lives.
By far the greatest audience.
They feel the tension on the streets of London.
The audience is estimated at 12 million.
The LEM began to disappear behind the moon.
Had been traveling on the far side of the moon, beyond radio contact with mission control.
The goal for the descent orbit insertion.
A 30-second burn that drops the Eagle to a mere 10 miles above the lunar surface and prepares them for their final descent. We're only moments away from a flurry of activity that will, if all goes well, find Armstrong and Aldrin safely on the moon.
Okay, I want a go, no-go on landing. Guido.
Go flight.
Retro.
Go flight.
Booster.
Go flight.
Telmu.
That's a firm flight.
GNC.
Go.
ECOM.
Go flight.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Capcom, go.
Eagle Houston, you are go for
Landing. Go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing.
I'm at the foot of the ladder. The LEM footpads are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches, although the surface appears to be very, very fine grained when you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. I'm going to step off the LEM now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.